Hello, everyone. Welcome to Week 15 edition of the BSB. I'm Sean Kaus, and over in that other screen, we have my very good friend, my brother, Tony James, and we are your betting strategy brothers. Tony James, how you doing over there, Big Sexy, today?
Well, I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Had a great week last week, so I can't complain at all. Once again, it was one of those weeks where I didn't win a ton. I didn't lose a ton, so I always take that as a win. I did go down $13. I won my college. I won my straight bets in Buffalo and Washington, and my round robin I lost in Houston, but Tampa and Washington came through for me. So I bet 100, 187. Down 13. I'll take that any day of the week. How about you?
I can live with that too, Kaus. I had a great Saturday. I came through with Utah. I knew they were going to win that game outright against Colorado.
Yeah, you called that on me.
And then my teaser hit. And shoot, if I would have known they were all going to hit without the tease, I would have just played it without. But Troy came through and San Diego State came through. And then Sunday, I did not have such a good Sunday. So, but we look at the positives around here, right, brother? And I had a great Saturday. So I wound up down 50, but that's okay because this week I have some picks that I think are going to be winners.
There you go. And hey, I'll take being down half than being down all. So
100%.
And hey, why not do a teaser? Better safe than sorry. That's why we do the teasers, to be safe. We think it's going to be close. And sometimes it goes, shit, we could have won more if we had just done it as a regular parlay, but we did it on purpose to be safe, and it played out. So both of our teasers came through, so it was a good thing.
Yeah, I was very happy.
All right. So what are you drinking this week, Tony? What's your flavor of the week this week?
My flavor of the week, well, I went into the deep into the refrigerator, and I've got a Whoa Nelly lager from my friends at Melvin Brewing in Alpine, Wyoming. It's just a nice little crisp, refreshing, happy Friday cerveza. So I'm going to drink this in celebration of having a couple weeks off. How about you?
Yesterday was the last day with kids, got grades done, all that stuff. Today was the first day with nothing. So we're going hard. We're going bigger. We're going home. Last year, I helped out a counselor on my campus do some AP stuff. So she got me a big old bottle of Jack Daniel's honey. And since Tennessee is going to win this week, I said, all right, I'm going to break that out for the thing. And
good idea.
But I usually do it as a shot in my golf bag because we do birdie shots. Whenever you get a birdie on the golf course, we take a birdie shot. So I usually take it as a shot. It goes down pretty smooth. But I want to know what a drink was. And if you guys have ever seen the Tipsy Bartender on Facebook, he's awesome. He had a thing on, it's called the Honeydew. So you can see it's kind of green, just like a honeydew melon. And all it is that Jack Daniel's honey whiskey, and you put Mountain Dew on it, put some whipped cream on there, mix it up. Oh man, it tastes just like a honeydew. It's got a little sweet, so I'll probably that's number a couple, and I might have number a couple more, and then I'm going to be done. I got to move on. It's a little too sweet, but it gets the job done for a good while.
Well, us both being teachers, Kaus, it's a time for us to celebrate in a way. We had a kind of a different semester than usual, so time to celebrate the start of some good family time, and nothing kicks that off better than a nice cold beverage. So, cheers to you, brother, and let's see how we do.
I agree. All right, let's get right into those picks. We're going to start with our straight pick this week. I will go first.
All right, let's see what you got.
My straight pick this week, and you guys have been following, if you've been paying attention, a lot of my straight picks, I choose underdogs. And I choose underdogs I think are going to win because I'm going to take them because they're going to make me money, and I'm going to take them on the money line because they're going to take me even money. And my underdog this week is Philly. Philly is playing at Arizona. Okay, I'm not 100% confident on this. I'm pretty confident, but I think they're going to win. I'm only putting 10 on it, but my 10 is going to double plus. It's going to give me 22. So I'll take that all day long. Look, Arizona is 3-6 against the spread as a favorite with Kyler Murray. Okay. So first of all, that's a stat that doesn't bode well for them. When you're looking at stats for Philly, all the stats have been with Carson Wentz. You got Jalen Hurts come out last week, go against number one defense in the league in the Saints. And he looks like a superstar in his first freaking start. And we even said on this show, we think he's going to be good. We think he's going to be a star. But first start in the NFL against the Saints defense, there's no way that's going to happen. He proved us both wrong. Mm-hmm. I am on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. Arizona won last week. They needed that win to boost them back up. They did beat the Giants. They did beat them pretty good, but it was the Giants. In Philly's in that same situation. It's the Eagles, but it's a new Eagles team. Like, this is totally different. They're a totally different team. They're both really – if Arizona – like, I was looking at my notes, a lot of teams are waiting for Arizona to lose this week. They need Arizona to lose for their playoff hopes. So I think Philly grants that. And I just – when you look at – okay, Philly is 8th versus the pass, and Arizona is 18th in the pass, and Philly's 25th. Whereas Arizona's 4th versus the rush, like those kind of even out. And I think Philly is going to contain Murray. They learned how to contain Hill last week. They're going to contain Murray. They're going to make him throw. He's not going to be able to do it. They're going to make him go to the ground game. Philly's got a good line. It's going to be Philly all the way.
So I'm with you. I was impressed with Jalen Hurts last week. Very impressed, in fact. I don't see how they turn back now and give Wentz the ball again unless Hurts gets injured. I like this battle of quarterbacks here with Hurts and Murray. So I think you have a solid pick. I'm not sold on Arizona. I just added them to my no trust list. I think you got a winner there with Philadelphia.
Well, let's hope so. All right, what do you got for your straight pick?
So my straight bet, you're not going to have much time to get down to the book. In fact, if you're listening to this on Saturday, you're not going to have time at all because this game takes place Friday night. It's the MAC championship game, and I'm going with your Buffalo Bulls against Ball State, minus 13. I'm going to put 20 on that to win 18. But the Bulls are like unstoppable. Their rushing attack is unreal. They put up points like it's going out of style. And it's not that I don't think Ball State's a terrible team, but I mean, this is like the Max version of Alabama versus insert your team here. So I really like Buffalo. I think they're just going to hand the ball off and run it right down Ball State's throat, control the clock, control the game, and win by at least 20 points.
I agree, and they're minus 13, and that's a lot to give up, but I don't think it matters. And Buffalo's proven that game after game. I think there was only one game this year that they didn't cover the spread. Every other one they did, and they covered it by a lot. Even last week, I said I picked them. I think they were like minus 33, and they covered by more than almost twice that. So they're finally ranked, first time in school history. They're ranked 2 weeks in a row. They're now up to 23rd. I really wish this wasn't a COVID year because the way they're running, they might have got even higher. They might have impressed some more people, got in a better bowl game. But who knows where they're going to end up. But, yeah, I agree with you. You're right. They're going to run all over. And they are undefeated, and they're going to stay that way going into the bowl game. For sure.
All right, should we jump into our parlays now and see what we got?
Yes, sir. I'm going to follow my normal putting all my college games together and putting them all in one no matter what time. UB, once again, I'm taking them just like you did, but I'm taking them on the money line. Like you said, I think 13 is plenty, but I want to –
it's not even a challenge.
No, but – I'm doing everything money line except for one team. All our favorites. I said I'll put all the favorites on the money line. Not even mess with points. I don't like to mess with points if I don't have to. ASU got freaking screwed this year by having that month off. Yeah, their record isn't great, but I'm telling you, they're best team in the Pac-12, bar none. No, and then they have the Pac-12 championship. Oh, this team can't play, so they're going to insert this team who just got beat by Oregon State. Like. It was crap that they're not in there, and I understand it. I understand they got to have so many games, But ASU is the best all-around team in the Pac-12. Arizona, yes, they're terrible. Bye-bye, Sumlin. We knew that was going to happen. They put up 70-7. And for ASU fans, and that's me, go Devils, but I don't think we even care. Like at this point, we're like, whatever. After we put up 70-7 against the U of A, like, all right, we're good. Especially in this COVID season, we only played 4 games. Like, all right, peace out. So ASU wins this. Just to put icing on top. Ohio State, The Ohio State ain't going to win or ain't going to lose. I mean, there's no, and I'm not messing with points. They're a favorite. I'm not messing with points. I'm staying with them. You got Clemson. Last time Clemson played Notre Dame, and first of all, Notre Dame makes its appearance in the ACC championship when they come. Like, welcome to the ACC. But in Notre Dame's had a great season. Don't get me wrong. Notre Dame barely beat Clemson last time. Barely. They had to go to like 900 overtimes to do it, and they lost. They won barely. Clemson did not have Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is back. He's playing. He's going to run up that score. I think the spread was like 13 or 10 or somewhere in that area. I forgot what it was. But they're going to be ahead 20-30 with Trevor Lawrence under the gun. So I think that's an easy win. My last one is San Jose State. They've been looking good.
They look great.
You jumped on their bandwagon early. You turned them on to me. I like them. They are the underdog. So I'm going to take, all right, just like we talked about earlier, better safe than sorry. I'm going to take them with points, and their points are 6.5. And my $10 is going to triple and make me $34, and that's going to cover me for college, and I'm totally good with that.
Yeah, I like your point about Ohio State. I mean, they're playing Northwestern. Northwestern's gritty. I like that. But that's a good move in just taking them on the money line. I believe the spread is 19.5 right now. And like you said, you're all about increasing your odds, right? And so by taking them on the money line, all they have to, whether they win by 1 or 21, you're a winner.
Yeah.
You also have Clemson on the money line, which isn't a bad pick. We'll talk about what I think about that game in a little bit. And then, San Jose State with 6.5. I think that's a great play this week. They're playing at home in Vegas. So it's a great pick. Well, that leads into my first NCAA parlay of the week. And I'm going to call this the Boise is not a state parlay because I am also taking San Jose State plus 6.5. And I'm parlaying that with the over. So my $10 will win me 27. I just think San Jose State looks great. I think San Jose State's pissed that they didn't get to play Boise a couple weeks ago. And I think they're going to take it out. I think they just look like they're on a mission this year. And Boise, just something's missing with Boise. I don't know if it's just lack of confidence on Bachmeier's part or if it's just the offense. They don't look right. And so I'm going to take the 6.5 points and run with that. So my 10 will win me 27 there.
And I agree with you on that Boise State. My worry with your pick right here is that Boise doesn't look right. In San Jose, they're probably going to put up 20, maybe 30. Do I really think Boise is going to put up another 20 to make that over? That's where I would worry right there.
True.
But other than that, I think you got a solid pick there.
And then my second NCAA parlay, I am going to the Notre Dame Clemson game, but I'm taking Notre Dame with the points. So the cool thing is that we can both be winners, right? But I like Notre Dame. I know they beat Clemson last time without Lawrence, but Notre Dame looks like look legit this year. I think they take Clemson down to the wire. Do they win? Maybe, maybe not. But I definitely think they cover the 10. And I'm taking the over in your Sun Devils game against the Beavers, taking over 54. I really was I was actually surprised they put 70 up so quickly against Arizona. And Oregon State can score right there with them. I mean, they beat Oregon, so I think this is a solid play as well.
Well, yeah, and I agree. We were actually talking. That game was going on last week when we were in the studio recording, and you said, "Oh, darn it, I wanted to get U of A," and I said, "You're on crack. There's no way that's not going to happen."
I needed 61 points, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but I do like the pick of ASU over. Oregon State gave Oregon a game. In watching that game, I'm looking at it. Oregon was up by a bunch, and I go, "There's no way that game's getting over." And then in the end, ended up being over. I actually think ASU might put up another 40 or 50 themselves. So I think that over is a very good pick. What are you doing with Notre Dame, dude? What the heck are you thinking?
So I get it. It's almost a home game for Clemson because they're playing Charlotte, but I really like the way that Notre Dame has played, and especially with Kelly's comments about, well, we don't know if we're going to play in the playoff because they won't allow families at the Rose Bowl. Well, if that's the case, then this is their season right here, and this is the way they can cap an undefeated season. So I think that's bulletin board material for them, and that's why I went with Notre Dame.
They're okay. When you look at their stats, like offensively, they're both offensive gurus as far as, they're both putting up points. They're both, but when you look at passing, like it's not even close. Like with Trevor Lawrence in the game, Trevor Lawrence has them as like 332 yards per game, 7th in the NCAA. And then you look at Notre Dame where they're over 100 yards less than that. They're halfway down the pack. They're 51st in pass. Like they're going to have to pass. So it's college. You're going to pass the ball. There's not as much running other than UB. There's no way Notre Dame can keep up in this game to even it was 47-40 last time without Trevor Lawrence. Now you take Trevor Lawrence. And now here's the thing. If you were talking about over in this game, I take the over all day long. But when you take him plus 10, Trevor Lawrence is going to get them scoring. He's going to get that defense so tired. And he's going to have a lot of time for Clemson's D to rest up because he's going to have the ball a lot. And they're just going to put up point after point after point. And Clemson's D is going to make play after play after play against Notre Dame. Clemson wins on long shot. So you're drunk already, but I love you anyway.
That's all right. It's not bad.
Let's go to my Saturday, our first Saturday games for the NFL.
All right. What do you got?
First of many. Of course, my boys, the Bills. Look.
Well, this is for a division title, right?
This is, first of all, there's so many things to talk about in this Bills game. You're looking at first-time division title since 1995. Freaking Robin Williams Jumanji was in the theater last time Buffalo won a division title. That's how long ago it was. I was a freshman in high school. But you got that. You've got them playing for home field advantage. You've got them maybe even playing for the first number 1 seed. Pittsburgh lost 2 in a row. They're not going to lose this week, but they got lost 2 in a row. They lose another one. Buffalo holds a tiebreaker. You're looking at KC. If KC loses out, then Buffalo all of a sudden, holy shit, they got the number 1 seed. I don't think it happens. I hope to God it does. I think Buffalo has a good shot to win out. I just don't think Kansas City falls. Buffalo might jump Pittsburgh. I could see that happening. I don't know if they can catch KC, but it is possible. So there's a lot playing for that. And then on top of that, yes, we saw him having the snowball fight. You guys look at Twitter, you saw him have a snowball fight. Great. Good snow. Dude, I missed that place. But what's going to motivate them the most? And I think McDermott is a good enough coach to keep them grounded and keep them not looking at that. But some ESPN analysis, I'm not going to name names, he basically called all the Bills fans like a bunch of trailer trash rednecks. In this day and age, and everything's got to be politically correct. You got to be careful what you say. BL, all that stuff. Like, how do you even get away with this? Like, that's how hypocritical ESPN is when one of your analysis can say that, but somebody else says something else and they get fired, and he says something about Bills, and it's okay because he's talking about Bills fans. Like, every fan base has every demographic in their fan base. Like, it is what it is. You don't say that. And I root against Josh Allen. I don't root against him. I root against him because I hate their fans. What are you talking about, dude? What is wrong with you? Like, it just shows how ignorant you are.
It's interesting when a former player comes out and says things like that because, the NFL quote fraternity is supposed to be really tight, and you have former players coming out and, if Bills fans want to go and jump through tables, I mean, freaking let them. Who cares?
Yeah.
I can tell you stories about games at the Oakland Coliseum where I look at things going, what the hell is this? And, but it's just like, oh, they're just Raider fans. Who cares? I mean, it's Buffalo. Buffalo, from when I left almost 20 years ago, I miss it. I moved back. My wife would never have it, but I would move back in a heartbeat. It's definitely changed. Every year we go back. Every summer we take our boys back there, and it's like, holy cow, this place it's growing. It's so crazy. It's getting so much better here. Da, 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 da. It's turning into a great place to live. Not that it wasn't before, but it's even better now. And you have passionate fans. One of the best fan bases, if not the best fan bases, is in all of football. And during a pandemic, when people are losing their jobs and people are doing this, you have fans donating money. Over 700 freaking grand to a player's charity. Hey, Josh Allen, you're a boy. We love you. Your grandma died. We're sorry to hear that. Here you go. We're donating. Donate 700 grand. Screw you. Like, don't tell me like we're a bunch of, we have American flags on our pick and we have dogs. Who cares? Like, how do you get away with that is really my big question. Like, how hypocritical is ESPN to not do something about that when other people say other stuff?
about different people and whatever. But that's going to be whether McDermott's going to have them grounded. But I saw a lot of players come out on Twitter at Buffalo saying stuff about, you're ignorant. What are you talking about? Look at all this money. So it's going to be a tip in their cap. McDermott's going to have them grounded, but they are still going to rise above that. Buffalo wins this game, and Buffalo buries Denver. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is a trap game. This is a trap game. And it very well could be. I 100% agree with that. But Buffalo's covered the last 5 games. Okay? They've covered each of the last 5 games. They're going against a Denver D that's 9th against the pass, 27th against the rush, 23rd in points. And Buffalo's offense is like 9th, 8th in all those categories. Like there's no way they're going to keep up. Allen is 6th best against the blitz. Denver likes the blitz. They're 6th best against it. So they're going to be – and Denver's not going to have a running attack. You got Phillips Lindsay. He might not play. Denver has they have also – they don't have to worry about Smoke Brown because he's out, but – they still have Diggs. They have Beasley. I just drew
Beasley was such an underrated pickup for them.
Yeah,
such an underrated pickup.
Huge. Gabriel Davis. They have him. They got all these receivers, and Denver's down to 3 cornerbacks. They only have 3 cornerbacks on their roster this week. So, you're not going to be able to stop Josh Allen in that passing game. Buffalo's going to try to establish the run just to move into the playoffs. Establishing the run, they're going to take this game by a lot. So that's no question there. And then you got Green Bay. Yes, Green Bay doesn't have – they're playing Carolina. Okay, Carolina has been – and me personally, I've overrated them all year. I thought they were going to be better every week. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. They never do. But when you're looking at Green Bay has a second-rated offense against Carolina's 21st defense. It doesn't matter anything else after that.
I'm surprised it's that high. Wow, I had no idea.
And you're looking, Green Bay is 4-0 against the spread in primetime games this season. Green Bay is playing they're tied with New Orleans for the number 1 seed, so they're trying to keep that. The Saints have a really hard game in KC this week, so they're playing for a lot, playing to clinch the division. They got a lot of things going on for them. Where Carolina, they've lost the last 7 of 8. They have nothing really good going on. And once again, this could be a trap game for Carolina, but we talked about it last week. Aaron Rodgers is going to get his 40th touchdown to get the first 1 and 3. And he actually, this is he's the first QB in history to throw 39 pass touchdowns with fewer than 5 interceptions in the first 13 games. That's never happened before in history. So, Yes, he is definitely up there with the great ones. And he made a comment about that saying, well, there's so many great ones. I guess I would be in just because there's so many. He's in regardless if there's a lot or not. So I'm parlaying those 2 together because they're both favorites. And I'm going to watch both those games tomorrow, and it's going to happen. So my 17 only wins 13, but it's better than nothing. What do you got on we're done with parlays. Let's move to our round robins.
All right, I'll let you go first, Kaus, because your round robin is very interesting to say the least.
So, first of all, you guys, we talked about round robins last week. This week, I'm going to put it just real quick. Think of a round robin. If you ever played in a tournament in high school or you ever went to a tournament and they said it was a round robin where you play every other team in your little division or however they part you guys up before you go into elimination. That's what a round robin is. You're putting all the teams together. Instead of them playing against each other, you're putting them together in a parlay. So every bet you have, they go together and they go together and they go together, and then these 3 go together, and then these 4, or however many you do. So that's kind of how you're looking at a round robin. Just kind of a refresher, a different way to look at it. But it's a parlay. It's not a teaser. A couple of people got confused on that last week. It is not a teaser. It's only a parlay. So my round robin. First, I'm starting with Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore on the money line against Jacksonville. I think the spread was 13. 13 is the spread. That's a lot of points. The mustache is coming back for Jacksonville, and they were good with the mustache. It's their 1 win this year with the mustache. So he's coming back. He came in relief last week. Towards the end, it looked pretty good for Jacksonville. So I think it might be closer than it should be, but I still think Baltimore wins. Jacksonville's just playing the spoiler right now. You're looking at Baltimore's first in a rush versus Jacksonville's 30th against. So
that's
Baltimore's going to run all over. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but it's Baltimore still they're playing for playoff contention right now.
True.
So and Jacksonville's out, so it's going to be Baltimore all the way across. Kansas City Saints over 52.5. I think that's easy. Drew Brees is coming back. That's going to be a high-scoring game. When you look at the biggest thing here is I actually like the Saints to win this, and we'll talk about that later. But when you look at this, Drew Brees coming back, and you look at KC's defense is – I don't want to say terrible, but not great. And then New Orleans offense is great. And now you got KC's defense not only has to plan for Breeze, since he's been hurt, since he's just coming back, they're still going to have a lot of stuff with Hill. So they got to plan for two different quarterbacks, two different types of playbooks. Even though Hill ran a lot of the same stuff, he still has a lot of his own stuff. It's going to be too tough for KC. So there's going to be a lot of points in Mahomes is Mahomes. So there's going to be a lot of points in that game. The Rams versus the Jets. I'm going under 43.5. The Rams are going to kill the Jets. It's not even going to be close. Darnold he's returning home, but the Jets are playing for Trevor Lawrence. Bye-bye, Darnold. I don't care what you say. That's happening. And poor Trevor Lawrence has got to go to the terrible Jets organization, but that's the way life goes. But I think the Rams put up 30, but I don't think the Jets put up any. Maybe 6. So I don't think they get to that 43.5 just because the Jets don't score anything. And back to my Bills game, I got Buffalo in the over. Sorry, not Buffalo. I got the over in that game. Just because I think Buffalo is going to put up 30-something points alone. I do think Denver will put up some points. Buffalo's defense is not as stout as it has been in years, but it is pretty stout, and they've proven that. They'll let up 2 touchdowns maybe. So I think with 2 touchdowns, how you're looking at Buffalo need to score 35 points. I think they'll do that pretty easily. So I'm putting $3 a bet. That's 11 bets, means I'm spending $33. If everything hits, I win 100. If not, I can have parts of it where I get parts of it. And I think I need like 2 or 3 of those 11 bets to hit, and I win my money back. So,
yeah, and just a reminder to everybody. So he's got 1 14 parlay there with all the games. Then he's got some 3-team parlays and some 2-team parlays. So that's how he gets out to a total of 11. So that looks solid. I hope it all comes through for you. I'm really like the underpick on the Rams. I agree with you. I don't think the Jets could score with $200 on Van Buren right now. And that's sad because, that they can't come up with $200 anyway. But you made a great point. They're just not, the Jets just aren't, they don't even belong in the same stadium with the Rams right now. So sorry to the Jets.
Yeah. And the Rams are still fighting. I mean, Seattle's kind of trailing off, but they're still fighting. So Rams haven't won that division yet.
That's true. All right.
What do you got?
My round robin's a little bit simpler. I've got just 3 teams on my round robin. I've got the Miami Dolphins -1.5. I'm just, I was one of those people who at the beginning of the season didn't really know what to expect from Miami, and holy smokes, am I just impressed by every week they seem to be getting better. Flores is doing a great job down there. So I really like Miami. Plus, I think New England's done. This experiment with Cam Newton and I don't even know if it's Cam Newton's fault. New England has consistently been cheap in acquiring weapons, and it happened with Brady. And now it's happening with Newton. And I mean, Newton's definitely no Brady. And I mean, Belichick has been a master of turning chicken shit into chicken salad, and it's just not happening this year. He just doesn't have the tools. So I like Miami. I like Minnesota -3 against Chicago. I don't think Trubisky could hit the broadside of a barn.
He proved it last week.
And I like that. I like Minnesota in this one. And then I also went with the over in the Kansas City New Orleans game. Kansas City, man, they gave up 40 points to the Raiders. So, their defense is not great. So I see that definitely. And, 52.5 is for 2 teams that like to throw the ball. I mean, if you get to 28-28, that's your over. Yeah. So I really like the over in that game as well. So I have three 2-team parlays and 1 3-teamer. So the 4 bets times $5 each, I can win a nice $69 when I'm done.
Yeah, did Chicago? They're. I agree. Like Mitch Trubisky is better than Foles, and I'll go to the bank with that any day of the week. Foles just had he's a backup quarterback, and he's a good one, and he comes in and wins games, but he's not going to consistently win. Trubisky is right there with him. He should be a backup quarterback. They wasted that pick on him. But I mean, last week he looked like he's Chicago. That game is scary. That game scares me. I think I put it in my teaser, but that's because it was a lot of points because I see it being a close game. But they're both fighting for playoffs still. I don't know. I could see we could both win. You could win this, and I could win my teaser, and I could see that easily happening. But what I'm worried about is, and maybe this is just a Bills fan in me, is the Miami game. That's going to be a close game because Belichick knows how to play interdivision. He does. And I don't care who it's against. He knows how to play them.
That's true.
Buffalo was a better team than them last time they played. And had Cam not fumbled at like the 10-yard line, Patriots would have won. So like he knows how to play interdivision. Miami's giving up 1.5 points, which we've talked about many times. It's not much. It doesn't really matter. But Miami needs to win to stay in the playoff hunt and stay in their. Technically, they're still in a shot for the division. If Buffalo wins Saturday, they're not, but technically they're still in. So they'll know by this game, but they're still fighting for the playoffs. I just don't think Tua is going to rise to the pressure of that. I think Flores is a great coach, and I said it last year when they were sucking at the end. I said he's going to turn this team around. They're going to look good. I just don't think they're going to be ready for this pressure of playing New England to stay in the playoffs. I think Miami still makes the playoffs, but the good thing about this pick that I love, Miami wins. Bye-bye, New England, which is fantastic.
Well, there you go.
As a Bills fan. So I do root for that. I just don't think Tua is going to rise to the pressure, especially against Belichick, especially interdivision. I just don't think it happens. Last time New England made Fitzpatrick look like an idiot, and he is not. And they made him look terrible last time they played this year. So that was pre-Tua. I'm sure you can agree with me. A lot of people can agree that the timing of taking Fitzpatrick out was weird. It wasn't good. It was like he's not doing anything wrong. But it ended up being the right move. But it was kind of weird, but New England already saw Fitzpatrick and they dominated him. I think they're going to do the same thing to Tua, and I think New England wins this game big time. So I don't see that parlay hitting for you, brother. Like I said, I hope it does because I'll take Miami in the playoffs and say, screw you, New England. Bye-bye. I hate you. I'm glad you're not in the playoffs. But the thing that worries me about this, too, is depending on how things end up, Buffalo could end up playing Miami. It'll be in Buffalo, which is always good for Buffalo, but if things work out, that could happen. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to teasers.
All right. So I have 2 teasers going this weekend. So I'll start out with my college teaser for Saturday's games. I've got Utah minus 4.5 against Washington State. I really like the role that Utah went on last week against Colorado in a bad weather, and they just pretty much kicked Colorado up and down the field. I like the Air Force Academy at Army this week, plus 3.5. I like Alabama against Florida. I just think Alabama is just so much better. There's like in the SEC, it's like there's Alabama, and then the rest are just there. And Florida's a good team. They're coming off a bad loss to LSU, but they're not going to hang with Alabama. I like the Minnesota Golden Gophers against Wisconsin. I have that no trust list, and Wisconsin is definitely on the no trust list this year. They found multiple ways just to look bad in games, and I was thoroughly impressed with Minnesota missing 33 players last week and beating Nebraska. So I'm going to ride with the Minnesota train there, plus 18.5 points, even though it's at Camp Randall. I just think that's way too many points for a not so great Wisconsin team against a Minnesota team that's not terribly bad. And then my bonus game that I threw on the teaser is a Tuesday bowl game. Tulane is playing Nevada in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. And I'm rooting against Nevada. I'm betting against Nevada this time. I'm taking Tulane +3. I just think Nevada's demoralized from their loss against San Jose State. I don't think they're gonna. Well, I just don't think that they are. They didn't show any mental toughness in the second half of that game. And coming off of that, and then you jump right into a bowl game, travel, opponent you don't know about. I like Tulane in this one, plus the points. So I'd take my $10 and win 26 on that.
Well, and I can't argue. The only thing I would argue would be Utah. And then after what Utah did last week, I'm going to go ahead and shut my mouth on Utah this week. So what I can say, and this just goes for the people at home, you have to be. I very, very rarely will ever bet against the team I'm rooting for. So I'll never I'll never bet against the Bills. I'll never bet against the Bulls. I have those teams those are my teams, and regardless of how I bet, I won't bet against them unless they're like, if I'm if I'm Jacksonville or if I'm the Jets, if I'm a fan of those teams, they're out of the playoffs. They have nothing to play for. They're going to get their ass kicked. I'm going to make money on them getting their ass kicked. And if they win, great. They prove me wrong. I would never do what you did and bet against your boys, the Wolfpack, just because it's still a relevant game. It's still. I understand what you're saying. They're demoralized and everything, and you may be right, and they could lose. I'm not arguing that point. I just would never have put them in a meaningful game. My team, I would never bet against. I just wouldn't bet that game. I would have left it off, or maybe bet the over or the under if I see it going one way or the other. That's just a betting strategy for me. Just because it hurts too much. You can look at it your way and go, well, shit, they got their ass kicked, but at least that came through for me on a ticket and I won some money. But you
Which
can look
I've done before.
Well, you can look at it the other way too. Is like, shit, they got their ass kicked and I lost my ticket. That can happen too. So I just personally never do that. That's a philosophy because I watch the games and I root for what my money does. I root for my money. And so if I'm rooting for my heart, I don't want my heart and my money to coincide. I'm just going to go ahead and leave. If I'm betting for the Bills, I'm betting for the Bills. If I think they're going to lose, I'm not going to bet against them. So that's me personally, because that just makes the game not as fun. And then we're doing this for fun.
For sure,
right.
for sure.
Just
another fact. This is the fourth appearance in Nevada in the Potato Bowl. They are 0-3. They have lost every game by more points than the previous game. So their first appearance, they lost by 1 to Miami. Then they lost by 7 to Maryland. Last year, they lost by 11 to Ohio. I don't see this. I just don't see it ending well.
Yeah. And like you said, this can be this easily could be well, shit, my team lost, but at least I won money.
Yeah. Or they could win 45-44, and then I'm looking great again. So
correct. Or they could win by a lot, and you go, fuck, my team won, but they cost me money, and that's a shitty place to be, and that's why I don't like doing that. So, all right, let's move on to my teaser.
Let's talk.
So Miami, New England. I'm taking Miami. I'm bumping them up to 4.5 points. We already talked about this a little bit. Look, it's going to be a close game regardless. But I think New England is going to be one trick play from winning this game by a touchdown. I guarantee, like I said before, Belichick in division games, he knows how to win. He's going to he's going to probably have 2 or 3 trick plays for them to win. That's his MO, and they're going to win. But I think it's going to be by a field goal. So I'm going to bump Miami up to 4.5 and take those points. Chicago, Minnesota, that's going to be another one that's really close. Chicago showed me something last week. Kirk Cousins, God damn, when I look at stats, he looks like a great fucking quarterback. But when I watch him play, I go, what the hell is going on?
Smoke and mirrors, brother.
Yeah, correct. So I'm taking Chicago. They're +3 already. I'm going to tease them up to 9. Hell yeah, they can lose by a touchdown. So win me my teaser. So I'm taking them. Indy, the Colts are on a tear. They got the right stuff, baby. They're playing Houston. They already played them 2 weeks ago and smoked them. Indy's 8-2 against the spread in the past 10 games. So it's a division game. They're fighting with Tennessee. Indy's fighting with Tennessee for the division, so every win freaking counts for them. They are, like I said, they've already won 26-20. I shouldn't say they smoked them, but they did when you watch the game, they smoked Houston 26-20. They're going to do it again, even worse. Houston is down after losing to Chicago. I think that game's a runaway game, so I'm going to take Indy -1.
Mhm.
And then the Saints, I think the Saints win outright against KC with Drew Brees coming back. Two different quarterbacks they have to compare for. I think the Saints win outright. But just in case, KC is KC. You never know what's going to happen in that game. Where I think the Saints are going to win outright, I still could see KC winning it, but it's going to be a touchdown game. I'll tease Saints are getting 3 already. I'll tease that up to 9 points. I'm going to take those 9 points and run away with that win. The Giants, yes, the Giants are just got smoked by AZ last week. The Giants are the Giants. I mean, let's be honest. They are who they are. Daniel Jones is a turnover machine. He looked, I don't want to say scared is the word I'm looking for last week, but you could tell he did look right. He wasn't getting out of the pocket. He wasn't moving. He wasn't running like he normally does. So I think he's going to look at film and go, oh, yeah, that needs to happen, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to run a lot more, and I'm going to make more first downs. They're getting 12.5 points. That's basically 2 touchdowns. I can't see how you can't win when you get 2.5 touchdowns. I mean, if it were the Jets, okay. But or Jacksonville, but no, I can't see that. And then speaking of the Jets, I'm going to take the Rams -11.5. The Jets are playing for Trevor Lawrence. We've said it before. We'll say it again. I'll say it again every freaking week. The Jets are playing for Trevor Lawrence, and that's what they want. They're going to say bye-bye, Darnold. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's going to happen. 11.5. I mean, the reason I put this in the teaser is because 17.5. That's 2 touchdowns, a field goal plus. That's a lot of points. I mean, yes, it's the Jets. I see this game being 36-7. So yes, they're going to cover. But like we said before, better safe than sorry.
No, I see you taking your odds and making them better. You're almost like you're throwing another team on there to make it. You're like, hey, I'm 99% sure I'm going to win this. Let me just throw another team on there and see.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Exactly. And this is my pay the rent bet this week. It's 30 to win 180. So I'm going to take it and try to be up a lot.
I love it. I think the Rams are a solid pick this week. I mean, even my Jet fan friends are like just pretty much done with the Jets. But I got a hot take for you. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that good. Sorry.
Whoa.
I think he's a system quarterback, and I don't think he's going to be. I don't think it's going to translate to the next level.
What the fuck do you think Tom Brady is? Why do you think he's not did so good in Tampa Bay? Because he's a system quarterback. When you get him in the right system, he's fucking phenomenal.
Well, that's the thing is, do you trust the Jets to get the right system for this guy?
No, not at all. But when you look at it, you go, okay, this kid is going to be a stud if he's in the right system. And I don't care who you are. If you own a business, if you have anything, you always think you are the best. Even though you're the Jets and you fucking suck, you think you're the best, and you're going to take that, and you're going to go, okay, I'm going to take it on me. You know Gase is gone. You know that whole coaching staff is going to be a whole new coaching staff next year. You know that. So I'm guaranteeing the organization's going, all right, we're getting rid of everybody. We're going to bring it all in new, and we're going to bring in Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be Arizona all over again.
I wouldn't be so sure. In fact, I've heard rumblings that Gase is going to stick around because they're in it for the long haul with him. If I'm the Jets, I take that pick and trade it.
No, that would not be a bad move. I just don't. What has Sam Darnold done to keep that spot?
Well, you make a great point there. Darnold looked, he had that first game where he looked really, really, he had the one pick six in his first game that was terrible. And then he just played like his balls were on fire the rest of the game. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't been great, but he also hasn't had a lot of weapons, and they've had just injury after injury. And now there's no Mims this week. They're starting Frank Gore. Like, really?
Yeah.
This team is kind of a mess, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when the draft.
But when you look back, that's an organizational thing. I mean, yes, when you have so many injuries, and they had a lot. When you have so many injuries, it's hard to win. And I don't care who you are, I don't care what you are, I don't care what you're doing. But good teams, good coaches, good systems, good organizations figure out how to win no matter what. Jets are not that. They are not that. When you look at the organization as a whole, they don't know how to put the right people in the right spot to make the right plays, okay? The best managers in the world, the best owners in the world, they take people and they say, you do this because you're going to do this better than I ever could, and you're going to make me look like a stud doing it. Jets haven't figured that out yet. So I don't think – and I think Gase was a horrible hire. He's
100% agree with you. I think he was a horrible hire.
I think that whole thing's cleared out. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of 30 of their 55 players that are 53 players on their 53-man roster. I bet they get rid of 30 of them. They get rid of every coach, and they bring in Trevor Lawrence, a whole new coaching, and all new players, and go for a run.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think that the only way that Trevor Lawrence is any good in the NFL is if they bring Swinney in from Clemson to coach him.
Well, I agree. I 100% agree that's not the best for Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence is probably going, I hope Tony's right now, and I hope they trade that pick, and I hope I don't go to the Jets. That's really what he's doing. But he could do a Joe Burrow thing. Joe Burrow came in, he looked fantastic for Cincinnati. And you could look at that and go, hey, we're turning shit around before he got hurt. And I think Cincinnati's kind of in the same boat. So I think that same thing could happen. I really do.
That's true. Yeah, and we'll see how it plays out for sure. All right, I'll throw my teaser up there. I've got a few games on here. I've got Indianapolis -1 for the same reasons that you mentioned earlier. I just think they're better than Houston. The game, again, the last game against Houston was close, was more of a blowout than the score indicated. Yeah. I think Houston had the ball at the end with a chance to win, but it was Indianapolis pretty much statistically dominated that game. I've got Miami and New England over 35.5. So I'm teasing that point total down to 35. That's a 20-17 game. I see that as a field goal game as well. I took Jacksonville with 19 points against Baltimore. Now that was admittedly before I remembered that that Uncle Rico was playing for the Jags. I thought it was still the Giraffe, and the Giraffe has been very impressive. I'm not going to lie.
He has.
But Jacksonville's another team, just no weapons whatsoever. And when they got rid of Fournette, that was pretty much it. So, but I like the fact that I'm starting the game up 19-0. I've got the Giants plus 12.5, and I'm taking the over in the Arizona-Philadelphia game. I see that being a 28-24 game. I don't know who's going to win. Honestly, I don't care. I'm just going to root for points. My $20 is going to win 84 on that, and that would set me up for the week.
Pay the bet.
There you go.
I like. We both picked the Giants over Cleveland with the teaser. I think we both, at least I'm sure that Cleveland is going to win this game, but I think it's going to be a close game.
I think Cleveland's a better team by far.
Oh yeah, and they're 3-0 against the NFC East. Like, they're not going to be 3-1, especially to the Giants. But I do think that the Giants have a good rush D against that tandem rushing for Cleveland, and I think that's going to mean a lot in this game. And then the Giants are 8-3 against the spread as an underdog this year. So technically, they're still fighting for the playoffs. So
it's just a matter of which Daniel Jones you're going to get. He shows. I'm sorry, Sean. He shows signs of being really, really good at times, and then sometimes you're looking at him going, "What the hell are you doing?"
And go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm drunk. What do you want?
I was just gonna say, you just take your lumps with a young quarterback, right? And props to the Giants. They're committed to this guy, and they keep throwing him out there until he got injured. But they keep throwing him out there because they think he's the future. So good for them. Yeah.
Well, and you got Washington football team in front of them right now, but they're playing Seattle without Alex Smith, so that could definitely ruin them.
That is a dog's breakfast of a division for sure.
I agree. All right, brother. Well, that concludes our Week 15 edition. You guys at home, like, share, retweet, subscribe, whatever you guys do. Hit us up. Let us know you love it. We love seeing you guys. I actually got a couple texts today. Did you do the podcast yet? I want to hear it or whatever. So it's awesome. Makes me feel good. I know. And I told you it made you feel good. So guys, keep doing that. Subscribe, like. We love seeing that. We love all that. So thank you. And we do not guarantee anything. This is purely for entertainment. Tony, I love you.
Sure.
Brother.
Love you, brother. Have a great weekend, and let's hope that on when we get together next week, we are talking about massive amounts of money in our wallet.
Let's hope. All right, brother. Go Bills.
All right, later.